as in comparison to some of the other Mario games that came before it. Like,
Gotcha.
if I were to compare it to, like, for me, it harkens back to like the Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of comparing it to that.
Okay.
And so, like, the number of worlds it had didn't really it was shorter in that respect, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was still a lot of fun. And there were a few levels that did present a bit of a challenge, and then some, making some obvious mistakes, because I generally suck at video games most of the time. So,
like we all do.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so to get this chat, is it going to pop up on my right hand side, or should I pull up YouTube?
It should pop up where it says comments.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
It does have a delay. It says like show chat and social next to your name on the left side.
Oh, comments on the left. I was looking on the right. Okay.
Yeah. It does have a slight delay, so if you want to see him quicker,
gotcha.
YouTube is better.
Pretty much.
So I can just pause the video on YouTube, right? And I'll still get the comments coming.
I think so.
Yeah, here we go. Here's chat.
Oh yeah. You can pause the live video feed and you'll still see the comments coming through.
There we go.
I just lower the volume and see it.
So, question for you guys. I want to play some of the older Pokemon games. Are they on the Nintendo store? Like for my Switch or my DS? Or do I have to? They're not?
Not yet.
Sadly, no.
They're holding on.
Because like I have them, but I don't want to play them on my Game Boy Color. I just don't want to. I want to play it on my DS or my Switch.
If you have an Android tablet, you can get an emulator, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
True enough. I mean, to be honest, if you're really wanting to, I would say stream it if you can, because they have emulators on PC.
Right.
So you can do it. You can do it that way if you want.
That's not a bad idea. I would just have to find. You can save on the emulators on the PC.
Have you seen the?
I think they autosave. Yeah.
Gotcha.
On TikTok, like every so often, you might get an ad for these brand new.
I know exactly. They're like $150.
Right, and they look like Game Boy Colors.
Yeah.
Fused with like a Game Boy Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like thousands and thousands of games, and the Pokemon games are on there.
That's what made me want to play again, because I saw those. So I go into Temu, where they're like, "Yeah, it's yours for $10," and then I go on. It's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding. It's $150."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, I don't want to play that bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're on Amazon as well. They're probably on Amazon.
If I found one for a decent price, I'd get one, because I think that's so cool. Because especially with the backlit screen.
We have Dane and Ryan.
Woo! Hello,
Dane. I've been looking for your YouTube channel. I've been Googling BBD, and a lot of other weird stuff comes up.
Yeah. That joke never gets old. Well, that is going in front of the episode for sure. so that's what we've been doing lately. We just have like this random conversation that always happens in the beginning of the episode off air. So we just been recording it.
That's a good idea.
And then just put it in the beginning instead of trying to find like a clip.
And how many times, and legitimately, how many times have we said we should be recording this, and how long did it take before we finally started doing it? I think it's like the third or fourth week that we've been doing this after almost 2 years.
No New Friends is 200 episodes in, and Scott still gets pissed when we have conversations between recordings. Like, it's your fault. You press record.
Yeah,
this is on you.
He stops the recording.
Yeah, this is on you.
That's funny. We are on. This is episode 73.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I thought it was like 17.
yeah. Not even.
Where have
We go
you
once a
been?
month.
Well, 30 was the Ahsoka breakdown.
Yeah.
30 of the episodes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
I remember
Holy shit,
Sarah every time that,
73.
hey, what's happening with the
Yeah.
podcast? He's like, they're talking about Ahsoka again.
that show's been over for like 6 months. Why are they?
Oh, wait until Daredevil comes out.
It's like what, 23 episodes or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's why we talked about Loki. What, the first 2 episodes, and we're like, yeah, just wait until it ends.
True enough.
Pretty much.
Well, we were also kind of floating the idea of just doing separate content, talking about the episodes outside of the podcast.
Right.
And so I added to that suggestion. It's like, okay, let's do that after Loki is done. Because
Yeah.
we're already more than halfway into it by the time we even thought of this. So
Disney's used to do that. They used to do, I think it was The Mandalorian season 1. Joe and Alex would do breakdowns just for Patreon.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, just create because we have the Patreon, but we haven't launched it yet because we don't have content for it yet.
Yeah.
But that's
right.
a great idea. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
reviews
do
of
like
shows
Remy,
and stuff.
and I'm gonna
speaking of which, after we're done with this episode, I have words, and we need to have words.
Oh shit, that's very
about
intimidating.
going into the future and doing
Back
things.
into the
That's
future.
I am so
that's-
intimidated right now.
I know. I'm like nervous. I'm not even a part of the podcast. I'm nervous. I think I'm getting fired.
I got to put that. I think that's. I'm going to put that on the soundboard one of these days. Find that little
Vince McMahon.
voice. That and or Donald Trump. You fired.
That reminds me of like when we were in middle school and we
huge.
get that text from our girlfriend saying we need to talk. It was always an instant breakup. Always instant breakup. We need to talk.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
It's you. It's always you. All right, we're gonna start this shit. Then we are gonna be talking about fucking Disney. That's what we are. We went to
We're full. And then they were like,
so yeah, man. Today we are going to be talking about MegaCon.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, but who the hell cares about wildlife anyway?
right.
Then we are going to be talking about.
Behind the window here, so I know it's going, obviously. So
How were you hearing each other during that? That was like 1,000,000 decibels. That intro. How could you guys hear
They're
each
used
other?
to it.
That is impressive.
I don't have a sound in it.
Rookie mistake.
yeah,
by me.
we literally, unless he sets it up that way, we literally don't hear it. So like whenever Ryan does like his previously on, he can set it so we can hear that.
Which we have one.
Ooh.
So
Finally.
Good
I
to
know,
see.
So
right?
lazy.
What's going on, nerds? This is Ryan, and I'm back. Lewis has been trying to keep me from doing my segment. I swear
He's
that
black?
guy's harder to work with than Brie Larson. You can't keep me down for good, Lewis. Anyways, previously on the Nerd Archive podcast, the nerds talked about Marvel and how the company is in trouble. I'm pretty sure the Nerd Archive podcast is in trouble. I heard they're having Chris as a guest this week. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel there. I guess they wanted to bring up the white boy average on the podcast. But if they want another white guy on the podcast, they could have invited me. Chris is literally half the man I am. Well, not in weight. He's probably twice that. Anyways, last week, Lewis talked about how it's a bitch to edit a podcast with a guest that has bad internet. Pretty sure that was a personal attack on me. And then Justin did a nerdy quote game that was so easy that even Helen Keller would have gotten it. Hey, but you got to get Lewis points where you can get them. Anyways, let's see what the nerds get into this week.
thank you, Ryan. he did that as a fan service for me. I needed 2 points. That's it.
Well, the difficulty I tend to try to vary the difficulty from week to week. So sometimes it's harder than others, and
That's what you
know. Yeah, I knew you were going there.
All right. So with that being said, welcome to the Nerd Archive podcast. My name is Louis. With me, we have Yadi, Lola, Justin, and a special guest from the No New Friends podcast. We got Chris, the Yabba the Hutt.
Oh, thank you for the Yabba the Hutt. I haven't heard that in a while. Thank you.
Oh, man. Well, welcome in. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
How has your week been?
Horrible. I can hardly walk. Why would you even ask? You know I can barely walk right now, Louis. You know exactly how my week's been going. No, honestly, with all of the content that's been getting put out on these streaming services, my week has been amazing. You have a hard day, you get home, you just watch some Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever.
Get home from what? You don't work.
Figuratively speaking.
Right. You don't have a job.
I wasn't being literal, but thank you.
My bad.
So
you
we'll cut that.
You get home from what? Your doctor's appointment?
Physical therapy.
Right, because what happened to your? Because you haven't talked about it enough.
I have not actually.
Let's bring it on to another podcast so you can talk about it.
Thank you. I don't get to talk about it enough. I tore my Achilles tendon back in July. It's been a long road, but you know. Someone has to do it, right? Someone has to be out there tearing tendons. So I figured I would. So.
And how'd you do that?
Oh, basketball, because I wanted to show these young kids, because they were middle schoolers, who Kobe Bryant was, and I did by literally tearing my Achilles tendon, not by playing well.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn. And did you? I stopped myself. Because I was gonna crash and burn. So with that being said, didn't you also kind of rupture it?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Yes, I did actually. I was hopping very athletically. I want to let you know. I was very athletically hopping to the couch on one leg, and I stepped on my dog. And whenever you step on your dog, it's the saddest thing in the world. So of course I sacrificed my own body so that she wouldn't die. Took a tumble toward again. Yeah. When
Chris says hopping, he just means that he went to get pancakes from IHOP.
That's not untrue actually.
Yeah, I know.
Ryan in the chat. What kind of dog?
Oh yeah, what kind of dog?
Massive, 10 pounds, heart of gold. Thanks, Ryan.
And is lighter than you and taller than you.
Also true.
Yep. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Loki towards the end of the episode because we didn't break down how we normally do. We break down every single episode every week. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys what we thought about of the show entirely.
Oh, no, don't tell me. I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
That's bullshit.
Spoiler alert, please.
Yeah.
I'll just dip out before the end.
Because the first thing I asked you is, did you finish Loki?
I'll tell you what. You asked me out like a month ago, and I said yes. You left me on red. You didn't want me on for the first 2 episodes.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, it's true. I'm glad that you say that because I went to send you another text to ask you if you finished it, and then I saw that you texted me. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
And I texted you back pretty promptly. I don't text back promptly, but I did text you back.
You did.
And I said, yes, I love it. And that was November 1st. I didn't get another text from you until yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Because my plan was to have you to talk about it, but then we decided we weren't going to talk about it.
Gotcha.
And I'm like,
thank you for letting me know 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Listen, hey, you're here.
I was busy anyway. I was busy. So
it took you a while to get from your room to your desk because of your Achilles.
Yeah, very considerate. Yeah, very considerate of you. Thank you.
I wanted to give you 2 weeks heads up.
I appreciate you.
Yep. So also, the nominees for game
of the year.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that list?
Yes. You know what was left off, Lewis, was the games my wife plays with me on a daily basis. That was actually left off for game of the year.
Listen, those Those are the ones for the decade. That's for
True
sure.
that.
That's for sure. So talk about it talk about the games and the list. I know you guys have the list in front of you. I know Justin does.
I do not actually.
Yeah,
Shocking.
literally none of us do because you didn't tell us to. I'm gonna be
I did
completely honest.
I figured that they were the ones that brought it up. So
You know what? Google's a great thing. Too bad. I've been trying to ask Jeeves, but it's still loading. All right. So full disclosure, out of these 6 games, I'll read them out loud because I got this list up. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, a lot of sequels. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Resident Evil 4. Actually, all sequels. None of these are original games, which is pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, and one of them being a remake, which I'm surprised made the list.
What was the remake?
Resident Evil 4.
Really? That's a remake?
Yes.
They called it
Yes.
4, but it's a remake?
Oh yeah, it's
because
been
the
put out
remake
on
of Resident
so
Evil
many.
4.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's been put out on so many different platforms over the years, and that's the thing though. It's a good game. Like it was in my opinion, it was the last good Resident Evil game before Resident Evil 7 finally came out. Because 5 and 6 were just fucking garbage. And
It's an understatement.
yeah, that's being kind. And like I said, when it was posted on, was it posted on the his Discord? Like my vote was
I posted on yours, actually.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm on there once every 6 months.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see why it can be confusing.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, my vote's for Tears of the Kingdom. Like
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, you were pretty quick with that too.
Yeah.
I only played one of these games, but I'm familiar with 2 of them. No, I'm familiar with all of them. I played Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and I do not usually play games all the way through. I think the first single-player game that I played all the way through was Elden Ring, which is my favorite game of all time. And I think actually Spider-Man 2 was the second one that I played all the way through. It was awesome. Oh, no, Miles Morales. I played all the way because it was like 3 hours. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is great, but I'm familiar with Baldur's Gate. I want to play that. All these games I'm interested in. Alan Wake 2, I just found out what that was about. Sounds super interesting.
I never got to play the first Alan Wake. I'm not entirely sure about the second one. I've played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. It's actually kind of fun. This coming from a guy that doesn't like Dungeons and Dragons very much.
Right.
But, it's a decent game. What struck me as odd, and I honestly am surprised that this never got nominated, was freaking Hogwarts Legacy. Not only did it not
wow.
it got snubbed entirely. No nominations for the entire thing.
But that came out in December of last year.
Yeah,
Didn't
it was
it?
the timing for that game. It was like before Christmas,
Because
I think.
because it came out so late last year, it should have been on consideration for this year.
Oh,
So it missed cut for last year. And it was and it's literally, it's literally the best-selling game of 2023.
Yeah, I've lied a lot on this podcast. I've actually beaten that game too. So I guess there's quite a few that I've played all the way through. When you get older and all your friends have died off in the virtual world, you start playing single player games. And yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, man, I put that right up there with Spider-Man 2. Honestly.
Me too. Yep, I totally agree. That story in the Spider-Man 2 though, like it gives you like the feelings, like it hits you hard.
So good. You can't even skip the cutscenes because like, no, we're not letting you not watch this.
That's funny.
Well, on a first playthrough, it makes sense.
Yeah, I used to skip the cutscenes all the time. But like, can you imagine skipping the cutscenes on this? Like all of a sudden you're like Peter Parker, like, wait, I'm black now?
That's funny. I watched a TikTok the other day of this dude. It was right before Halloween, and he's like, he walks in dressed up as Spider-Man, and his friends are in the living room, and he's like, "Hey, I'm ready for the Halloween party." It's like, "Oh, nice, you're gonna be Peter Parker." It's like, "No, I'm Miles Morales." And the dude is like almost looks identical to the Peter Parker in the video game. And he's like, I don't think you understand. No, why don't you understand? I look just like him. And they show a picture of Miles Morales, and it's like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And it goes on and on and on, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
I saw that one. It was really good. I just want to talk a little bit more about Spider-Man 2 because that's the only game I've played on this list. So I recently got into comics like very heavy. I have the Marvel Unlimited subscription for the year. So I actually finally finished, I think after I beat this game, it got me way back into the Venom run that I was reading. Donny Cates did a Venom run that led all the way up to the King in Black, which is Null. Excuse me. And
Are you okay?
no, I don't think so.
You just choking your own saliva?
Yeah, I think I just was projectile vomited all over the keyboard.
It's the venom.
It's the wine is too dry. Yeah, I think I'm infected with the symbiote. So a lot of the stuff in Spider-Man 2 was inspired by Donny Cates' King in Black comic, which was really, really cool to see on at least this screen because it's his King in Black series was movie material, but who knows when they'll ever make it. But so to be able to see this in the game, like when Venom grows the wings and everything, like that's very
crazy.
much, yeah, it's very
Pretty
much
epic.
Donny Cates. The hive mind is very much Donny Cates and infecting everyone and all, having that hive mind. It was very, very cool to see, and it just got me even more into the comics, it was really cool. I hope that they at least credit him to that. Justin, you're chomping at the bit.
Ryan in the chat, Chris thinks about a donut and chokes on his own saliva.
Fuck you, Ryan.
I couldn't not read that.
It took me a second. If I would have seen it, I would have put it on the screen. Oh, wait, I just did. That's funny.
Who is this Ryan? He's got a pickup truck as his profile picture. Is he a transformer?
He's some guy from North Carolina. I don't know. That's funny, though. I was going to say something else about the...
Did you get to finish the Spider-Man 2 like 100%?
I did not, but I'm slowly working on it because like as soon as you beat the game, it's like you're like, okay, what am I still playing this for? So like I try to do as many missions as possible before I beat the game, but then it like stopped me. Like I wasn't able to go but so far. So I just finished the game, and I will probably never pick up the game again just because I just have commitment issues. But but I'll tell you what, I usually hate side missions in games, but this game had like side missions that were like sub stories to the game. Like they had cutscenes and everything for it, and it was actually very entertaining and very like touching and moving. So then,
did you play the side mission where you take the pigeons to a place?
No, that pissed me off too much in the first Spider-Man. I was so pissed chasing pigeons around New York. When I saw that guy, I left so quickly. I was like, this is the asshole that made me rescue all his pigeons in the first game, and I just never talked to him again.
I will say, play it.
Really?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
It's just one mission. And then tell me about it.
Okay, yeah, I will. I definitely will.
Because it's, again, the feels.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and also the spider bots. The spider bots, try to catch them all.
I need to find the last one. So I just watched the scene that you get. I have to Google because I'm like, where's the last spider bot? Yeah, I'm swinging all around New York City looking for it. And of course, the map's even bigger now. So, yes. But yeah, no, it was, first of all, it was really cool. All just the little comments he would make when you would catch the different ones. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping, and then of course, what happens at the end of the game, the character that's introduced. Really, really exciting stuff to come for the new game, and then even the post credit scene. We know who the next villain's gonna be. So
it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing a better job than the MCU is right now. I can say that much.
Yes, I feel like this. I finished the game. At least Sony sent me a thing that said, "Hey, you finished the game in 29 hours." I felt like it was a lot longer, but
yeah, it's a grind for sure.
but I got it to 100% because I wanted to get it all done before Modern Warfare 3 started. So,
How are you liking that?
Wait, real quick, Yachty, what's your favorite suit in the game?
I gotta go with the Boricua suit, man.
I don't think I got that one.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta
Maybe
finish.
it's because
some
I'm
stuff.
only partial Puerto Rican. They're like, nah, you can't give it
No,
to this kid.
Yeah.
you'll get it when you go
gonna get a
to finish
Cuban
when you get the school stuff done.
Oh yeah, I don't like school, so I avoided that.
It's only
too.
like 3 missions.
I got a lot of issues with some of these side missions. I love the Mysterio suit. I think that was my favorite.
I did use that one for a while. Like I used the white Power Ranger looking one.
Yeah.
I love that.
Very cool.
Love the look of that one.
The White Dragon one.
Yeah.
That was a cool. Lola, before we go on to Yadi, I know you haven't said anything yet, so you've been reading a lot lately.
Yeah.
Tell us what your really quick, your favorite book so far that you've been reading in the last maybe 6 months.
Book of the year.
Ooh, Lola, what books do you like to read?
Like
what genres?
Okay. I have gotten really into like sci-fi horror. So I started reading like Jeff Vandermeer. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Annihilation, but it's originally a book, and I was interested in the movie. So then I found out it was a book, and I read it. It's a trilogy. Great fucking book, and it's the one and only time that I can say that they butcher the fucking movie. The movie like completely grazes over everything. It's very detailed. It's very like it's aliens, but it's horror, if that makes sense. It's a great combination. And I didn't know it was an actual genre, so I'm really enjoying it.
It's like the killer clowns from Mars.
Don't know what that is. I'm assuming
It's
they're killer clowns on Mars, but yeah.
From Mars. And
Oh. Old school cheesy
yeah,
80s
it's a
wannabe horror flick, killer
It's
clowns
a
from outer space.
horror sci-fi flick.
Oh. Kind of, sort of. They, like, a quick example is inside what they call the shimmer. It's kind of like a dome that is over a small town in the U.S.
The Simpsons.
Like, kind of, but not really. And it also has that concept of like people start changing, but it's not from like nuclear vats. It's from what's it called? It's from just the fact that it's alien, and time moves faster inside this shimmer. And the way they describe stuff is crabs started like, or humans started turning into crabs, but it's still it's still crabs with a human face, and like the faces are peeling off the crabs, and humans no longer are humans. They start turning into other creatures, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty interesting. I think so far that's my favorite genre.
That's cool. I like to see the variations between the movies and the books because I can't read. Just not because I can't, but because I just lose interest so quickly. So I listen to the audiobooks. But I used to always hate those. I thought they were fucking assholes. Like, oh, the book was better. No, the books are so much better because there's just so much more detail.
Yeah.
Right.
And like that's the thing. I haven't been able to say much about like, oh, the movie versus the book. Not because I haven't been reading the books and watching the movies, but because so far I understand why they're not doing all the details. It's details.
Yeah.
It'd be a 6-hour movie.
Yeah, right.
Details are just not that important. But with this Annihilation series, I don't know. They kind of like fucked that up real good. Real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Lola, if you like sci-fi horror based off of movies or movies that were based off of books, Jurassic Park is really, really good and really different than the movie.
It's on my list, and apparently it gets very gory. So
It does.
I'm into that.
Yeah, it does. Like in the opening scene, like a raptor kills an infant baby. It's like, I don't remember this being in the movie.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, really
There's a
good
reason
book.
why it's a PG-13 movie.
Okay, I did not know Michael Crichton was that kind of writer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's funny
Yeah.
because Sarah, she's reading the Assassin's Creed books, and they're very descriptive. It's pretty. It gets to a point that they're so descriptive that you imagine like you're playing the game, and the games are gore, and the books don't fall short. And right now, well, she just finished the Black Flag one.
Oh, cool.
And it's literally, she read almost 3/4 of the book, or not 3/4, like maybe almost half of the book, to the point where the game starts.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's good backstory, and then Black Flag and 3, because Black Flag is 4, but the third one is actually a sequel to the 4th one because it's his grandson.
Gotcha. Did the books come before the game?
No.
Okay.
The books were made after.
That's
However,
interesting.
there's a book, I think it's Forsaken. It's a series. Forsaken, it's in between what happened between 4 and 3.
Gotcha. Oh,
It's
that's cool.
It's the son of the pirate.
Okay.
And then the third one is the grandson of the pirate.
That's cool.
So
And they're looking for the One Piece.
the One Piece. Yeah. In less episodes.
Ryan in the chat, Ready Player One book is way better, and I like the movie. I absolutely agree. I've listened to the audiobook about half a dozen times. Incredible.
That's another
Ready
one
pl-
that's in my list.
Oh yeah, Ready Player Two is good, but not nearly as good as the first one.
Right. Another book that Sarah's reading right now is Tarzan.
Really? The original?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And let's just say Disney watered down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's pretty dense.
It is
story.
dense and gory too.
Wow.
Like to the point where
There's monkey stuff.
they're not gorillas.
What are they?
They're apes. And
yeah.
gorillas are apes, but they're
Potato.
right, but they're a different they're a different kind of apes. And
Whoa.
yeah, well,
Chris has got that. Chris has got that look. Like, careful now.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to insinuate?
they're a different kind of apes. And his mom in the movie is actually it's his mom in the book, but his dad is different.
Ryan in the chat.
Hey, I already did. I already ordered that.
Just the
Oh my
loincloth.
god.
Oh yeah, I had to order it extra large
For that.
just for my gut. So the parents don't get killed by the leopard in the book.
Okay.
Actually, the leopard is a lion in the book. A lioness.
All right. A lot of like continuity issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Problems here.
The parents get killed by the ape that plays his father in the movie
Ooh, plot twist.
because the group of apes find out that these people are living in this tree, and then they go and massacre them.
You can't blame them.
Right.
So what if somebody just tried to move into your closet?
It's just right. Pretty much. Why the closet?
Well, because
you
know,
already came out. It's fine.
Really,
like 15%.
15%. Yeah,
You took your toes out.
we're nearing 20, but yeah.
I was thinking of Futurama when you said that, but you do you.
No, they don't die of leprosy. The point is that the book is. She tells me every time she finishes a chapter, she reads it or gives me a synopsis.
Sounds pretty calming to kind of wind down at the end of the day with.
Sounds like you have your own Audible.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's it on books. Do you have anything else, Lola, that you're reading?
Yeah, right now we're reading the Outlander series, kind of like a book club situation.
Mm-hmm.
And on the side, I'm reading another book by Jeff Vandermeer.
Your
It's
side piece?
My side piece. Actually, that's my main girl, not my side piece. My side piece is Outlander. Two side pieces because the book and then Jamie, but that's besides the point. But
Jamie Fraser, for those that
Jamie
don't know.
Fraser, for those that don't know, is beautiful, man. And no, the main piece book is Dead Astronauts, also by Jeff Vandermeer, and it's the sequel to Born.
Is that about the Challenger? I'm sorry, we should probably cut that. That was a horrible tragedy.
They all are.
I guess all tragedies probably are horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, hence the name tragedy. But yeah, you know.
Fantastic. I was reading the comments. So,
Yup.
oh man. Okay. That's it. I'm done for today.
The goggles back on.
Over his headphones, of course.
Beautiful.
Y'all watch Multiplicity with Michael Keaton in the 90s?
Yes,
No.
No?
multiple times.
Yeah. The if you don't know the movie, he clones himself because he's got a lot going on in his life. And then his clones, they realize that they have a lot going on, or he has a lot going on too. So he clones himself. And the problem is when you clone a clone, they start losing brain cells.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is completely stupid. And he wears one of these
Wow.
with an aviator hat.
What are you trying to tell us?
I think it's clear.
Yeah.
He's going to say here.
if I
You
have
can
to
just look at
explain
him
it,
and
you're
you
also a
know.
clone.
I have good news for you, Liz. You can run for president. You're qualified now.
Hell yeah. It's huge. All right. So, rumors around. Disney CEO reveals Disney Plus, as we know it, will shut down in December.
Yep.
I read about this.
Thoughts?
I think I don't think it's shutting down. I think it's combining with Hulu. I
Right.
think that there's too many losses across the board with all their streaming services. I think that they're going to combine it like what you see over in around the world already outside of the US, where they have Disney, but they also have Star, which is like their R-rated content through FX and this and that. I think we're going to see that. The $1 million question: are they going to lower the prices for us? Are they gonna? You know what I mean?
They're going to
'Cause if we're
raise the price.
They have been already. I wouldn't be surprised if they combine it in one and then double it.
What we said in the last episode was, what if they give us different tiers? Like Disney and
What
Hulu.
they do now.
Right, but Disney and Hulu in one, and then Disney and ESPN in another.
I think that's the thing that they're trying to prevent. It's like they just want to have this, and you're gonna get it, and that's it. You know, like
Right.
they want you
But
to
have it
pay
all
whatever
in-
they say.
And you said, I don't want to see it on my app. Like, I don't want it to be on the app already, and it says subscribe.
The sports.
Right. So
That's still separate than
that's
Hulu.
that's why I said the way Hulu does it now makes sense, because they give you those options, and if you're not paying for those
Yes.
options, you never see them.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're combining everything into one app, the way they're talking about, Iger's already confirmed this, and they're going to be beta testing a combined app sometime around sometime around the new year. And they're saying that parents should be wary, just in case their kids are, because obviously I don't think there's parental controls and things like that just yet. So they're gonna they're working on things, and I guess trying to get the kinks out and squash bugs and all that shit. So
It's interesting.
right. It's like Prime does. They have everything on there, and then it says subscribe to this to watch. So I think that's probably what they're thinking and doing.
I wonder
Because
what they'll call it. Like Disney Plus Plus?
Disney Plus Hulu.
There we go.
well, I think
$1 million
both
answer.
of those separate apps are going to wind up being history, and I have a feeling it's probably going to wind up being an entirely different name, whatever
Right.
they wind up calling it.
Right.
The Vault. I would call it like that.
Because like you can't have Futurama, right, or something that's on Hulu and call it Disney. It's just you can't. I don't know. It's like all these things you can get on Hulu. I just don't know. Handmaid's Tale is on Hulu, right? I don't know if Disney
but
wants
they
that
also have
associated with them.
Deadpool. So
Right.
Well, I mean, considering Disney owns Hulu completely now, I mean they have that, like they have those deals worked out with those, with those different networks, and it's also how they're able to do the live TV.
Right.
So, yeah, Dulu.
Dulu. That's
He said the
not
exact
bad.
same thing on the last episode. It's still fucking funny.
dumb.
It's
hilarious.
it is very dumb, but it's hilarious.
So I think that's what, knowing Disney, they're not going to hide something. They're going to literally put it on your face. Do this. And that's pretty much what they do.
Disney loves just putting things right in your face.
They do. They do. That's why I like going to Disney.
Not a good motto. Nor
It is what it
selling
is.
point when you're dealing with children, but
Yeah, well,
pop off, I guess.
the
Dulu.
biggest-
We put all our stuff in your face.
where the magic happens. So the biggest rumor right now going around, and we all wish it's true, but we all know it's not, is Hayden Christensen has been cast as Reed Richards in the MCU's Fantastic Four.
I think it's a horrible idea.
It's not even the thing is
How
it's
to
not
get
even
out?
it's not even a rumor, because the tweet that he's referencing in parentheses at the bottom, it's I guess he says it as its source. It's called "I'm delusional."
So I just had to bring it up.
Just give me more. Just give me. Listen. Keep your Reed Richards. Keep everything. Just give me more Anakin.
Right.
Just give me more Anakin. I don't give a shit. The million projects that Hayden Christensen does. Just give me more Anakin.
Well,
Does he have a lot of projects?
No, actually, I don't. I don't.
Like I don't remember
I
seeing him in
don't
anything
think
else.
he's ready to
Taken,
work.
Or other than Takers, I think it is, with Paul Walker.
Taken Jumper is a really good one too.
Oh, Jumper.
Oh, he was in
yeah.
Jumper, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
there's
That was a
one
decent
where
one.
he's in surgery, Awake, I think it's called.
That was him.
Yeah.
I reference that
Really?
whenever I go under. I'm like, like, you ever see that movie Awake? Is that gonna happen to me?
There's that brings up my next rumor with Anakin, that they're going to do a post Order 66 show called Vader.
I thought they were gonna call him Master Vader,
No, Master Vader.
Callbacks.
Callback. That TikTok is blowing up on our page right now. So
Ryan in the chat, driving Miss Daisy with Paul Walker.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah.
I think it's still too soon.
You know, that's the only celebrity death other than Kobe Bryant's that I felt bad.
Miss Daisy's dead?
No, Paul Walker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because he wasn't driving. He died the day before my birthday, November 30th. That's why I remember.
Wow.
See what you did, Ryan?
Reminding me.
Now I'm depressed. Thank you, Ryan.
Every time I see rest in peace Paul Walker on the anniversary, oh, happy birthday, Lewis!
Yeah, pretty much. That's going to remind you. That's actually how I remember my birthday. Like, oh, Paul Walker died. Oh, it is my birthday.
Shit.
Yeah. I remember exactly where I was sitting when it happened. And Kobe Bryant also.
Yeah, good thing
Okay,
you weren't in
cool
a car
story.
or helicopter.
Well, no. Actually, no. I was working for one, and then I was at home at the other one.
I was in a craft store and my sister called me. She's like, Kobe Bryant's dead. I was like, how do you even know who Kobe Bryant is? And then I thought she was trolling me, which is a really horrible joke. Come to think of it. But
I was at work when it happened, and the general manager walks in. He's like, Kobe Bryant just died. And I'm like, don't do that.
yeah, I know, right?
Don't do that. Because he, like,
You're like Google.
no, and
Hey, Siri.
then all of a sudden I get a notification from ESPN. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I still
no.
don't believe it. I'm still in shock.
Yeah. I am too. And the fucking Simpsons called it too.
Did they?
Yeah, there was an episode where he crashes into a building in a helicopter.
You know what's funny? You know, they always say the Simpsons predict things. When you have 2 million episodes, I'm pretty sure like you can stretch anything
Yeah, you can predict
to be a
anything.
prediction,
I
right?
was going to say Simpsons predicts everything.
Yeah. That's funny. I have a video that I want to show you guys. of
Oh,
something-
please. You sent it to me earlier. It's not appropriate for the podcast.
What's that? That's a
It's a home
different
video. Oh, sorry. We'll
different
cut that.
one.
We'll cut that. I was going to say, I
You
paid a
do
lot
those
for
things,
that.
Reese.
Do I have to click that thing down there?
No.
No.
Okay. Some like white guy just popped on the bottom of my screen. I thought my Ask Jeeves finally loaded.
You guys can keep talking.
No worries.
Well, you didn't talk about the biggest rumor this week, Lewis. About the Marvel scrapping Kang.
We talked about it last week.
We did,
That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was out last week?
Yeah.
That rumor?
With Doctor
Yep.
Doom.
Yes.
Somebody has
yeah.
not been watching our episodes.
I don't. I'll tell you what. The only podcast that I listen to is Rebby's Roundtable to go to sleep at night. We can all laugh, but it's true. It is. This is actually half of Remy's, probably 75% of Remy's listens are from New Jersey, from me, from the hours of 11 to 4 in the morning.
Oh man, but yeah, no. There's been a lot that has come out over that. You know, the writer Jeff Loveness being booted.
Right.
You know, so that kind of lends credence to they may very well be moving on from Kang. And what else was it? Because there's a lot of stuff getting delayed. It looks like there's some massive, like the next Captain America looks like it might see significant delays. Yeah, there's significant reshoots. 3 major segments are getting like massive reshoots because they did not go well with test audiences. And so they're having to redo a lot of that. So basically like a third to almost half the fucking movie is having to get reshot because it wasn't trending well. So it doesn't bode well for that movie. And that's after, like, that's immediately coming off of how terrible fucking the Marvels has been doing.
Yeah, not very excited. I even googled the after credit scene for that movie because I don't have any plans to go see it in the movies.
I'm
The
gonna go
after credits
see it.
is amazing. Real quick, Victor in chat said, "Hear me out." MF Doom, don't know what that means, is one of Doctor Doom's variants. I think he might have been trying to say what I was about to say. I just read the first issue of Secret Wars from like the 80s. And it's really cheesy because Secret Wars, all like the multiverses collide and stuff, right? So, but back then, like, all the characters introduce themselves when they like come into, because there's so many of them. But anyway, Doctor Doom introduces himself as or Kang is a future variant of Doctor Doom. So the in the Secret Wars comic anyway. So the transition could be seamless. Like it very well could be seamless if they explained it well enough.
Right.
MF Doom, it's actually if he is referring to what I think it is, it was a rapper, a British American rapper.
Yeah, I literally Googled it and saw that. I was like, I don't know if he's in the MCU.
I mean, unless it's a version played by Samuel L. Jackson.
That'd be cool.
Someone posed a question: who is better actor, Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
Denzel Washington.
Ooh, for me, that's a tough one because they're both pretty fucking good.
Right, and this was in a podcast, and the interviewer asked that question, and the interviewee said, "Okay, fantastic. Let's do this. Can you take Denzel out of his movies and put Samuel L. Jackson in his movies? Like Training Day. You don't see Samuel L. Jackson doing Training Day?
No.
I can see it.
Denzel Washington and Snakes in a Plane?
No. What?
Yeah,
Because it's
that
too
wouldn't
ridiculous. Because it's too ridiculous, and Denzel's too established. I think Denzel's just too much of a serious actor to play a role like Snakes on a Plane, but in a good way.
But also, Samuel L. Jackson plays Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
So, and even in Star Wars, he was like,
That's true.
the only thing that he didn't drop was the motherfucker.
Eh.
You expected it though in a couple scenes.
Yeah.
You
There was a
you
couple
kind of
times that
did.
he had the look.
Yeah.
He definitely screamed it after he got yeeted by Palpatine.
Well, we probably screamed it when he asked George Lucas for that purple lightsaber, and he said no. And that's when George Lucas is like, "Yeah, okay."
You know what it says on his
Yeah, whatever you
lightsaber,
want.
right? You've seen those pictures online?
I don't remember what it says.
It says "motherfucker" on his lightsaber
Well,
in the whatever language is written.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, so let me play this
Interesting.
video. And this is a new gadget that is coming out soon in the next year or so.
It should have been by now, but
Yeah.
I hope it gets a sex robot. No, it doesn't look like a sex robot.
Can you hear it?
No.
No.
Of course not.
Oh, is this AI pin? This just came out, didn't it?
It doesn't do anything until you engage with it. And your engagement comes through your voice, touch, gesture, or the laser ink display.
We don't do apps. Humane's OS runs AI experiences that are on device and in the cloud. The OS understands what you need and picks the right AI in the moment. The AI pin starts at $6.99 for the complete system. You'll also get the syncing and storage of all your photos and videos, full access to our growing suite of AI-powered services with no limits on the number of queries you can pose, along with unlimited talk, text, and data with a dedicated cell phone number for your AI pin via the Humane network, all for just $24 a month.
This is the Humane AI Pin. It's a standalone device and software platform built from the ground up for AI. There's two pieces, a computer and a battery booster. There are no wake words, so it's not always listening or always recording. In fact, it doesn't do anything until you
All right. So the reason I bring that up is because there's been. I'm trying to. How the fuck?
I can't see you right now, but I kind of like it better.
Okay, I figured.
Technical difficulties.
There it is. They're partnering with T-Mobile, okay, and which to start off, it's not a great service, but whatever.
It's the best service I actually got.
Oh no!
Oh, we lost Chris.
Well, he's talking shit. Everybody pause.
Yep. More technical difficulties.
There he is.
Hey, there he is.
He does not have T-Mobile.
He,
There you go.
that's
It's the same shit.
Yeah, I got it. It should be now. It should be good now. So there's gestures that you do in your palm of your hand that you can either skip songs, pause, whatever. If you tap it twice, it takes a picture. If you tap it twice and then a second tab, you hold it, it records a video. It's more like a GoPro. The only problem is you have to pair it with either have a computer or have a cell phone to see all your pictures. That's only downside because you can't see the fucking pictures right then and there.
Yeah, there's no screen on it.
Right. So I think it's good. It's a cool gadget and it's going to be awesome in the beginning. People are going to be like, oh, look at the new toy. I have it. But I don't think it's going to stick.
Yeah.
And if it does, they're going to have to change it to having maybe like a secondary screen in your pocket, which defeats the purpose of having it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phone.
Right.
That's the
Right.
But
thing.
if you can already see stuff on your hand, why can't you just see a picture on your hand?
It's just laser for now. It's not like holographic
Right.
technology. It's not there.
Even if it could, like, how well would that translate trying to project that onto your hand?
Right. So I think like I said, I think it's a cool gadget, something cool to have. But it's like the AR from the goggles from Apple. It's something cool to have, but I'm not going to pay $3,000 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This Humane AI, I actually signed up for their like updates about a year ago because I saw Humane Pin AI, and in the year that I've been subscribed to their newsletter, I still have no idea until like this little video what the product does. And I think that was one of the major criticisms of this product through like a lot of tech Twitter, is that even with the rollout of the ordering of it, which just came out, I think a couple days ago, you can actually order it now. People still have no idea what it does and what its full capabilities are. They did a really poor job rolling out. I think this product is going to fail miserably, but
Because of the
I think it's going to be like the say like the original Samsung AR headset, where you could look at a video around, and then years later comes the Oculus. I think it's going to be a stepping stone product towards something that's integrated with maybe like an Apple Watch type thing that gets pinned onto your chest, an Apple product that will project, maybe do something like that. I think that the integration with AI is something that's interesting. But I think that bigger tech companies are going to buy up that technology and just integrate it into their own products. Maybe not even buy it out, but just replicate it.
And
I have
maybe
absolutely no doubt.
maybe not even have it pinned to yourself, but have the technology on the phone itself.
Right. Yeah.
Like something that you can prompt up your phone in front of you, and it's projecting onto the desk or something like that.
But that defeats the purpose of like a wearable technology.
Yes.
Pretty much, but I I honestly don't think this is going to catch on very well at this stage. Like for me,
yet.
it's like I mean, it seems kind of cool, but it's just like with the phone that I have now with the folding screen. At this point, I hate it because the screen, the where it folds is starting to crack, and a lot of the apps have trouble reorienting between the larger and the smaller screen.
Right.
So I'm basically just going to go back to like a normal phone, and I think this is going to be another one. And fuck off. No, I'm getting the S23 Ultra or the next big Samsung phone that comes out after that. So
Right.
You see, like the best thing I see about this thing is just a translating part of it, and just because you can just tap it or whatever is right there. But Apple Watch, I can do that with it. I can do a lot of things with what I have already, which it seems like a waste of money, and I think is really expensive for what it is.
So what Yadi's talking about, it's not on the video that we showed because the one that I sent them was on TikTok. The video is someone walks up to the guy with the pin AI and he's talking to him in Spanish, and the pin AI is listening and then translates it to the owner of the pin AI, and then he talks to it in English and it translates in Spanish back.
They have to look at his hand though. Both people have to look at this guy's hand.
No, you basically
it
have to press it with
it says that out loud.
Yeah, you press like 2 fingers instead of 1 to do different things.
Gotcha.
Right.
That's the only thing. But
I would much rather have this sort of technology built into my Apple Watch or my iPhone than having it projected on or spoken out loud onto my hand. I would rather have it in my AirPod in my ear, this translation, right? Or spoken out loud on my iPhone or my watch. I don't want I feel like the technology that's built into it, and then that projecting, the projector technology, I feel like that is so like old technology. Like I feel like that's a weird, I don't know. It's like, it's just weird to me. It's like they took something very advanced and then cheaply did it. They're a startup company, right? Like this is not a Samsung or an Apple. So you're seeing it's inevitably going to be bought out by a bigger company, by a Google, by a Samsung, by an Apple.
But here's also the thing: did they pitch it to the bigger companies and they said no?
Could
probably
be,
because this would have been good 5 years ago.
Absolutely, yeah,
revolutionary 5 years ago. But now there's no point. And the funny thing is, it's like they you were right. They probably said no, probably because they're already working on something similar.
Yeah,
and Apple already has something similar to that. I think they that does with their the new iPhone and the Apple Watch, right?
I'm not sure,
Ryan. 2 fingers instead of one to do different things.
Yeah, you gotta watch the video though, so you can get it. It's just for smart people, but it's okay.
And is this thing water resistant? Like, can you imagine like just walk into your car with this thing on in the rain and just like your $700 little AI pin just dies?
Yeah, they never. That's the thing though. Like they never even said.
There's so much mystery to this thing.
Yeah,
I can't wait until Marquez Brownlee gets a hold of one.
Like for people in Florida that basically only wear t-shirts, like you're gonna sweat on that shit.
You're gonna forget you have it on your shirt and put it in the washer.
So, if it doesn't have a strong magnet, it's gonna be lost forever.
That's what I'm more concerned about. I'm saying I bump into shit constantly, so that thing's gonna be on the floor immediately.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, but I cannot wait to watch like a 3-hour long video breakdown on YouTube of one.
Yeah,
and for the people that talk with their hand, like it's gonna keep like lasering people in the eyes and stuff.
Oh man, well, and like you were saying, Chris, one or more of the major manufacturers are going to take some of the more like niftier aspects of that device and take it a step further.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. That's the most exciting thing about this product is what can Apple do with it in 5 years?
Right. You imagine you're trying to change a song and you get a cramp on your hand.
Oh god.
You're like, skip. Michael J. Fox can't do it.
Oh.
That one's kind of mean.
He's gonna have to move with his hand to keep it on.
Oh my god.
Damn.
It's never too soon. All right, so let's talk about Loki.
Please.
Sad.
First of all,
Animal Kingdom.
what?
Norse
The Tree of
mythology.
Life.
Oh,
Tree of
Tree
yeah.
of Life.
I was
Oh
like, what?
yes.
Dang, you guys.
The end.
Come on.
Yeah, that fucking ending, man.
The show itself, one of the best things that Marvel has put out in years.
Absolutely.
I think we actually got to me, it was like an old school Marvel is back with this show.
Yeah.
And if they followed this formula, I think they got their sound back.
We can only hope. Like, I
Right.
want to believe that this is a sign of things to come and a return to form for them, but I'm not going to hold my breath until we see
right.
what comes next.
This is one of the shows that we could actually not predict. Like,
Yeah.
we
Legit.
miserably fail on this.
Victor Timely turning into spaghetti
Over and over and over
and
and
over
over.
and over
Yes.
again. But the first time it happened, I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen?
It was
They needed
shocking.
this dude. They needed
Yeah.
this
Those
dude.
spaghetti
And all of a sudden he's like fucking Olive Garden on this bitch. Like, it's crazy.
I like Lola's spaghettios.
Uh-oh. I didn't catch it.
Hear you.
I didn't hear it.
I sure as fuck did, and it was great.
Oh man, that was
Oh,
great.
damn.
But the show itself, the storytelling, and it, even though it was 6 episodes, it didn't feel like it was 6 episodes.
No.
So much happened.
It was a journey
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't feel rushed. And Victor says, "I would have killed Sylvie." Just throwing that out there.
See, I'm not with him, but I'm not against him either. She needs a wake up call of like that whole, like, all the way at the end when he's like, "Hey, would you rather be alive or have no free will? Really, it's up to you. What do you want?"
Here's
Fucking
the
idiot. It's that simple.
She's a variant of Loki, but I don't think that she has gone through what Loki has gone through.
No.
The maturing and the journey of going from the first villain we see to one of the biggest heroes,
Yep.
sacrificing. And
Yeah.
fun fact, that line that he says, "Doing it for you or all of us," that was improvised.
So cool.
Yeah.
He, in an interview, they asked him, "Hey, full circle, that line." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I improvised that.
Amazing.
I wanted to bring back something from my first rodeo in Thor and bring something back, a line that would impact." And that was the best one because it was so impactful. And at the end of Thor, that I needed to say it as my last lines in the show.
This is why the striker thing happened. Just kidding.
I would like to see when they were recording, you know, the behind the scenes from when they were recording that scene, just to see like people's reaction of like,
Yeah.
ah,
Right. That
yeah,
would have been
crying.
surreal.
yeah, most likely, yeah.
The cool thing about him not his decision to not kill Sylvie and do what he did, just it was the perfect. It was his character arc, the completion of his character arc, right? Him
Yeah.
killing Sylvie would just be back to Loki killing people, taking the easy way out, right?
Right.
Instead, I love how the line that he improvised had two different meanings, right? In the first movie, then what he said it then, and then also his line, "I was burdened with glorious purpose," has went from a cocky line to actually like that his purpose is now
Yep.
to hold together the whole multiverse,
Mm.
and he's burdened with that glorious purpose because it's the greatest thing ever, because you're saving the lives of infinity people, literally.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was, his character arc was, I mean, the best we've seen since Endgame.
Right.
Yeah.
And the name of this episode was also the name of the first Loki episode.
Yep.
Oh, that's I forgot that was the name of the first episode.
I find it super, super cool that a lot of that just comes full circle. The glorious purpose, and the first episode of the first season, the last episode of the second season, and it's obvious like he did achieve his glorious purpose, just not how he would have initially expected.
Right. It's not what he wanted, it's what he needed to do.
Marvel,
It wasn't handed to him.
no, not at all.
He had to work for that shit.
Marvel does a really cool job at giving these characters like a full circle moment. Like when Iron Man sacrifices himself in Endgame, that clip going around on the internet of Captain America telling him, "You're not one to take one for the team," and stuff like that. And then he takes one for the team. It completes their arc, which makes me believe that we're not going to see Loki for a very long time, if at all.
So, fan theory is that Marvel is setting up heroes to take place the Infinity Stones.
I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, I
So
saw
if
that
you
as well.
notice, Loki, his throne was green, and it had to do with time. And then you also had Scarlet Witch, and her whole aura is red. And they're slowly implementing heroes that there's going to be 6 of them, and they're all going to be the Infinity Stones, and there's
When they transform into a goblet.
like a big one, like a
It's
like
also
a
kind
Megazord.
of
The
cool
vision might
that-
be going back to yellow, I'm guessing.
it's also kind of cool that they made, so Loki with the time, he was a villain and then he became a superhero, and then with Wanda, she was a superhero and then she became a villain.
Right.
So
That-
that's kind of an interesting take on those too.
Right. And that's the thing, though. And I think going off of what Chris was saying is it's not going to be the last time we're going to see Loki in anything, because Tom Hiddleston himself has said that he's not done playing that character. There's going to be there will be more appearances with him as Loki. In what in what capacity is anybody's guess at this point. And then Victor in the chat was saying, "I wonder what role the TVA will have in the MCU moving forward, because isn't Mobius rumored to appear on Deadpool 3?"
Yes.
That's still the rumor going. That was confirmed, wasn't it?
He is confirmed, yeah. And then the other thing, this one thing that they talked about in the show, which is like the Earth 616 was dealing with
a Kang variant.
Kang variant. It's like they got to take it under control.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the most powerful scenes was when Loki is talking to He Who Remains. And He Who Remains is so cocky.
He's an awesome character.
Like telling him that why don't you come back after you try this another 1,000 times so you can better your craft, pretty much. And he tells him, this is your first time having this conversation. All of a sudden, Loki stops time. And he looks at He Who Remains. Very, very badass moment. And he's like, do you really think this is the first time we've had this conversation? And I'm like, Oh, damn. and not only that, but in that scene, he is mocking Victor Timely. Because he has this, when he's having this conversation, he goes, you think that this is the first time. And I'm like, oh man. And then he talks about reincarnation and it's just that whole scene Loki showed. You gave me two options. I'm going to go for the third. The one thing that you're not expecting, because you think that because I'm Loki, I'm going to either kill her or destroy and fuck everything up. And then he says, no, I'm going to become he who remains.
So really, really interesting thing that I've been doing some research on ever since I heard the name. There's this character in the Avengers comics during the multiversal wars who gathers the Avengers from across the multiverse, right? And his name is Avenger Prime. And it goes on to reveal himself. Avenger Prime is actually Loki. And this Avenger Prime has the Eye of Agamotto, which is the time stone, right? Ooh. So that came out in 2021. The reason why this Avenger Prime, who is Loki, who controls time and can travel the multiverse, the reason for him assembling the multiversal Avengers to protect the multiverse is to fight Doctor Doom. So maybe that's how we save that. Maybe that's how all this ties together.
That's actually really good.
And it's a very interesting one.
There's a comic book where Loki fakes his death and becomes Loki, the god of time, and not the god of mischief. Because he controls the time and the multiverse.
It's interesting. There's a lot of ways they can go with this.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys think, because I was really impressed. The multiverse is a very hard to grasp concept, and time travel in movies and TV shows is something that is like really hard to capture. I was never confused by the show unless they wanted me to be confused, which it was then explained later. When he's walking down the hall and the phone rings, like, okay, why did that happen? And Sylvie comes out, how did she get there? And then it's explained later. Everything is just so seamless and makes so much sense. Right. It was like the blueprint moving forward for any multiverse or time travel within the MCU. I thought it was just done so well.
Yeah. It's like when he gets pruned in the first episode, they don't show us who he is. Mm-hmm. And then
we have so many ideas of what it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I told you that one of the theories was it was himself that did it. And I can't take credit for that. I saw it on the internet. But I thought it was very interesting that they didn't show who it was. And it had to be someone important that they didn't want us to see. And it happened to be him in the last episode. So the first episode and the last episode were connected.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the realization that he had on his face when he saw himself, realizing what he had to do in order to make that happen. And so he winds up pruning himself. It's crazy.
And it's the whole show gave us another scene that hits different, because when something is set up that you know that they're gonna time skip, they give you 3 hours later, 4 hours later. They gave us centuries later. Mm-hmm. And he learned everything that needed to be done. He learned how everything worked.
It was a very Tony Stark moment.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because he could do it. He
had time.
Smart enough. Yeah. He had time. And the best part is that even though those people that he came back to every single time, what's going on?
We lost Yaddy. We lost the video anyway.
Yeah,
Come back.
you turned off the camera. Every time that he came back to the past, they seemed kind of confused, but they didn't question anything. So I feel like they knew what was happening, kind of, but at the same time, they didn't know how it was happening. So that's why they didn't question anything. And how he was rushing through things too. It's like, come here, Victor. Put your we have to read your aura. Does it kill me? No, look. And he puts nope. Okay, now your turn. It's not gonna kill you. I promise. Try it.
I wish he had a conversation with Mobius though, because I think Mobius kept trying to like, hey, dude, what's
talk
up?
to me.
Yeah, talk to me. And they're they're buddies, they're besties. So like, bro.
I have a theory that is gonna blow your mind. It blew my mind this morning. Mobius is a variant of Odin.
Oh,
That is why Loki.
That would be so sweet.
That's why, because he has two sons.
Yeah.
He ends up by himself. And Loki is very attached to him.
That's interesting.
So that one blew my mind because, I mean, it is what it is.
Papa Mobius.
Is it something that they're gonna come back and tell us that that's what it is? Probably not, but it's everything falls into place. That's something that Marvel might just be keeping, and they did it as for the fans to think.
Yeah. Let them wonder without us answering anything.
Right.
That's interesting.
So I think that blew my mind this morning.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, do you guys have anything on those? Anything else on the show?
The last thing I just want to talk about was the last episode. In my opinion, was just such a masterpiece because everything literally just mentioned centuries of Loki. You know, it really sucked you in, and it really made you realize how like much work, and it was a very stressful episode.
Yeah.
Then for all of that to just not even work.
Yeah.
Like it just none of it. Like there was no payoff.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're anticipating the payoff the whole time. Because it's stressful every step. Every step Victor Timely is getting to that thing to shoot off the other thing. It's like every little thing is just stressful. You're on the edge of your seat. And then it happens and it doesn't happen. And then you think it's happening and it doesn't. It's
right.
It just, you know.
It was well made.
Oh, man. The twist, because it's very, I think at this point, we've seen a superhero show, we've seen a superhero movie a million times by now. You know what's going to happen. The good guys won. Well, the good guys lost in this one. Like all around, you know? There was a huge sacrifice at the end of this episode that I don't think anyone could have even predicted.
Right. And did you guys notice Loki's face when it didn't work the first time? The first time he tried it, when the blast happened, just like the previous episode.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Loki's face was the same. He saw it from a different perspective, but it was the same, which means that the Loki that we saw in that episode was the same Loki we saw in this one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they didn't give us Loki's point of view.
Right.
They show him when the camera was panning out. So it wasn't that we knew what he was thinking. So that means that at that point, it was his future self.
It's interesting.
The whole time that was happening, every time we saw Loki, it was probably his future self.
Huh. That meltdown was his canon event.
Right.
Couldn't escape it.
Right.
Interesting.
Pretty much. Well, like Obi said, you can't account for infinity. It's like trying to divide by zero.
Which we would do this character injustice if we did not give Ouroboros a shout out, who was the MVP of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What an amazing performance by him. Great character.
It was amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely one of the best characters from that second season.
It's so
Great
good.
edition. Yep.
So, what rating do you give this?
Out of what?
5.
Can we give decimals?
Sure.
Okay.
4.9. Just
Why
in the
not a
last
5?
episode. Nothing is perfect, you know.
I thought it was the perfect show.
Yeah.
To me.
No matter how good a show is, there's always something that you can improve and make better. There's no such thing as a perfect. So yeah, I agree with Yadi though. 4.9.
4.9 because Deadpool didn't show up.
There you go. You see, it could have been perfect for you.
If they would have had a cameo at the end, like an after credit scene with Deadpool just being like, oh shit,
Deadpool and
I don't care
Mobius?
what it was.
I was waiting for something,
Yeah.
but I guess they were right on time with leading to the Marvels.
I gave it a 4.5.
I agree with Lola, 4.5, because I think IMDb has the greatest rating out of 10. I'd give this show a 9 out of 10. Because it's not Breaking Bad, but it was a hair below.
I was thinking more so for emotional distress, but yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, that was a
Just that
sad.
last
It was a
episode.
good ending, but it was a sad fucking ending.
Yeah.
You see Mobius moping around? Does that not break your little heart? Emotional
Lewis,
distress.
what about you? Or did you say 4.9? Oh, no, you said
Yeah.
5, right?
Well, I took it down because Yadi made a
No
good
Deadpool.
point. No Deadpool.
No Deadpool. No Deadpool. Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of awkward to rate this season 2 as a season because season 1 and 2, if that was just one season of a show, you'd never know. Like it was like it was a whole story. Like it was a continuous story. And just the
It
storytelling
was one
just,
season broken into 2.
yes.
Right. I was going to say
Absolutely.
too, they could have make this a one season show, which we
Absolutely.
talked about shit the last time, but yeah.
But the suspense, so breaking it up did so much better. Just like at the end of Infinity War, you don't know what's going to happen, and then to see these characters again at the end of Endgame was amazing. To see that scene again of He Who Remains, to see him in that chair, was so much more powerful that they broke it up into the 2 seasons, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so
doubt.
happy they did, but definitely one continuous story.
It's what we said in the last episode. That Disney might be trying to do multiple season shows. One story, not just 2 different stories in 2 different seasons, but one story in 2 different seasons.
I love it.
So it doesn't feel rushed.
Yeah, I love that.
Even if they film it all together. But break it down so it doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like you have to skip through things and you forget things that happen in the beginning. No, just like this. Loki should be the new formula to make shows.
I agree entirely, and I also don't know if I'm the only one in this group that thinks this way, but I never ever want to see a Loki season 3. I hate when shows get
I
drug
agree with
out.
that.
I hate when shows get drug out. I love when shows end after like 4 or 5 seasons because after that it starts to get diluted and it just
singing
brings down the
episode.
show. Exactly.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, honestly, I absolutely agree. The
You're a Flash
way
fan.
this show ended, there's literally no need for anything further.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we know he's coming. He's coming back as Loki at some point down the road. We don't know what capacity, but we fingers crossed it's not season 3 of Loki because
Yes.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And
It's
What else
crazy
was
that
I gonna
now
say? I lost my
he's
train of
he's the god now.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
Justin,
yes,
your rating.
I already said 4.9.
4.9. Okay. So circling back real quick to what Chris said about ending just shows at the perfect time. That is what Stranger Things is doing.
Yep.
Stranger Things,
Yeah.
they always said from the beginning, before they even started, we're going to do 5 seasons. No spin-offs, no nothing. We might do books to like tell you backstories, but we're not going to film anything else. And we're
They
not
already
going to...
started with the books too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did Eddie's
And
backstory.
Sarah found one at the bookstore for Jane, I think it's her name. No, Jane is her.
Jane is 11, her mother.
Her mom, yeah.
They also have some comics too.
Yeah.
About Hopper.
Yep. So they're going to do more literature than shows.
Which is great.
Yeah.
The Star Wars novels are amazing. If they could do something like that. Heir to the Empire. I don't know if you guys have ever read Heir to the Empire with Thrawn. It's like a masterpiece. You don't need a movie. Just give me the books. As long as they're audiobooks. As long as they're audiobooks. I'm glad you brought up Stranger Things though, because Stranger Things is one of those shows that through each of its seasons hasn't fallen off. And and like you said, they know exactly. And I guess that's all
Don't give
articulated
details.
on their end.
Justin hasn't seen it.
Oh no, I won't. But I guess that's all to
Everybody
plan because they're ending when they want to end, and it's like one of the more perfectly written shows in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. You guys have anything else? No? Justin, do you have a nerdy quote of the week?
Funny you should mention that because... What's up, bitches? Yep. It's that time once again to test the host's nerdy knowledge on this week's edition of Nerdy Quote of the Week.
That shit gives me nightmares every time.
Yeah, we know. The sore anus and all that good stuff.
That's not the part that bothers me.
No, I know you enjoy that.
Yeah. I do. A lot. Wait. I thought I was muted.
All
Bring
right.
on.
So this week's is Marvel themed again, since we did talk about Loki. So yeah, all right, let's get right into it. Everybody knows the rules and how this works. So here we go. It's an honor to meet you officially. I sort of met you. I mean, I watched you while you were sleeping. Let's have our guest go first.
Ooh, Yoda. Oh, I'm sorry. You said Marvel. You said
Marvel
See,
theme.
73 episodes. You ran out of the Star Wars quotes.
Oh no, I've got more Star Wars quotes. That's not an issue.
Okay, I'm gonna say this was. Oh gosh, I'm gonna say this was Thor in Age of Ultron to Vision.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so Thor in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
say Coulson in Thor.
Agent Coulson in Thor for Lewis.
No.
Coldstone Avengers,
Avengers.
the first one.
Okie dokie.
I'm sorry, I gotta do this. Can you repeat it?
Of
Can you
course,
give me-
somebody had to, and yes, I'll give it to you in a fucking sentence.
Yes, please.
It's an honor to meet you officially. I sort of met you. I mean, I watched you while you were sleeping.
That doesn't ring a bell at all.
Can I change my movie
Look at the
answer?
rest of the answers and
I
pick
know.
what you like most.
I think I know what this is from now.
Yeah. Can I change my movie answer?
No.
I'm blanking out. I don't know what I'm thinking of Eternals, but that's not it. But I'm gonna say that in, I don't know, someone there. It's not. It's just do that.
So for no points, I'm going to change my answer to the after credit scene in one of the movies, Agent something. No, a nurse with Captain America. It has to be Captain America, right, guys?
It's Coulson to
It
Captain
is?
America.
I mean, Thor was a good guess because Vision was kind of sleeping, and Thor would say something out of pocket like that.
For sure.
Let's hear it.
All right. So everybody's guesses are in, and that quote was stated by Agent Phil Coulson in The Avengers from 2012. So, yeah. Lewis got 1 point, Lola got 2, and Yadi got 0. All right. So, the scores...
I'm not a sore loser, though.
Taking it like a man.
Shots fired, man. Intentional or not, that was shots fired. I see the look on.
With all the love. Fuck you.
Oh, jeez. All right. So the scores at the end of this round stand at Lola still with the lead with 47 points. Yadi losing a bit of ground with 41 points. And God, Lewis. And Lewis holding up the rear with 37 points. All right. That does it for this week's nerdy quote of the week.
No! Oh, no!
Hey, one thing that we didn't mention, Victor in the chat said Tom Hiddleston as a Sith Lord.
Yes. I saw that. Like, briefly.
Supported.
That was, yeah.
Don't hate that.
No,
Definitely not.
That would have been, that could be great. All right. So, Chris, do you have clip notes?
Oh, no, I don't. I wish you would have told me. I would have made some.
You know,
I thought I had the night off. Wine.
No.
Those are more of why you wanted me on tonight. It wasn't just to give comments about Loki.
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh. Next time.
Oh,
It's okay.
Next time on the Nerd Archive podcast.
You guys are a lot harder to make fun of than Scott. So take that how you will.
It's a compliment. I appreciate it. Talking about Scott, we're going to Hollywood Studios tomorrow with him.
I heard. I'm very jealous. Not about going with him, but just going to Hollywood Studios. That sounds fun. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you're jealous because you get to hang out with us, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. This is the last time that Chris Gobb is in this podcast.
I was gonna say you could always move down to Florida.
Yeah, right. We've been trying to get Yachty to move down to Florida for 73 episodes. All right,
if it was that easy.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we know there's reasons for it, so
yeah,
no worries there.
We almost got you last time you were here.
Yeah, I almost stayed, but
yeah.
Got a family.
Oh,
shit. Fuck them kids. All right, so with that being
Anakin
said,
Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought we were doing another nerdy quote of the week.
that was,
50 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Still holding on the rear. All right. So that is it for this episode. Make sure you go on our website, thenerdarchive.com. That way you can find all of our episodes on there. Our beautiful nerds crafted by us. And make sure you go on our social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
Just
Discord.
do it!
Discord. Make sure you join our Discord. Lola almost died. If you are watching.
I have so many cables. Hold on.
Yeah. And then make sure you tune in Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on YouTube, the Nerd Archive Productions. With that being said, this was Lewis, Yachty, Lola, Justin, and Chris. We'll see you next time. Deuces.
Click all the things.
It's not that one. We are going to be talking about fucking Disney. That's so sorry. We went to